Namo Namaha Bhaktam Sarvesham Hardam Swagatam. Welcome back to the channel Sanskrit Sopanam. I hope you are doing great. I'm also good. And moving on with our Learning Sanskrit through Gita series, today we'll be decoding 37th shloka from the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Again, a fairly easy shloka to understand. So, without wasting any more time, let's quickly dive in today's video. Okay, so this is a shloka that we have. Let me go through the shloka once. Hato va prapsyasi swargam, jitva va bhokshyase mahim, tasmaduttishta kaunteya, yuddhaya krita nischayah. Okay, so here is the original Sanskrit shloka and here is the Sandhi Vichcheda of the same shloka. So if we see this pada, hatova, so here we have two padas, hataha, va. And due to ukara sandhi, utva sandhi, this hataha is changing into hato. Okay, so this is the first sandhi that we can spot. Then if we'll move on, you see this samyukta pada, tasmad uttishta. So here also you have two padas, tasmat and uttishta. And what kind of sandhi is this? So this is the jashtva sandhi, due to which this takara is changing into the third consonants of its varga. So takara is changing into dakara, ta, tha, da. That is what you see here. Tasmad uttishta. Okay, so just to sandhi. And again, as usual, the sandhi details and the word by word breakdown is available in the PDF sheet. You can download it from the link in the description box for your own practice. Now let us move on for the decoding of the shloka. Okay, so in this particular shloka, as you can spot, we have quite a few kriya pada. So we have prapsyasi, bhokshyase, and uttishta. So we have multiple kriya pada. Now let us take one and start the decoding of the shloka. So we are starting with this prapsyasi. And prapsyasi, this means you will attain or you will obtain in that sense. And this kriya pada is of course coming from the dhatu ap dhatu. And as you can spot the prefix also pra. And the meaning is to obtain or to attain something. Okay, in that sense. And this pra plus ap, this is being modified using lit lakara. Lit lakara again is the simple future tense. So the action that will happen in the future. So lit lakara, madhyama purush. Because this action is attributed to the listener. And the listener is Arjuna. Krishna is directly speaking to Arjuna and ekvachanam. Because Arjuna, a single character. So in all these three properties, this pra plus ap, this becomes prapsyasi. That means you will attain, you will obtain in that sense. And immediately a question will be, Kim prapsyasi? What will you obtain? So Krishna is saying, Tvam swargam prapsyasi. So this tvam is not explicitly mentioned in the shloka, but it is the implied sense because the kriya pada is madhyama purush. So I am just writing it for your own understanding that Krishna is saying, Tvam swargam prapsyasi. That you, Arjuna, will attain heaven. Swargam, that is heaven. Okay, pretty easy to understand. This swargam is coming from the pratipadika swarga, that means heaven. And the form here is dutiya vibhakti ekvachanam. Why? Because this is the karma of this kriya. This is the object of this kriya. So dutiya vibhakti ekvachanam. And then the question is, katham swargam prapsyasi? That how will he attain to heaven? That under what condition? So for that Krishna is saying, hataha swargam prapsyasi. And this hataha, this is coming from the pratipadika hata, which itself has come from the dhatu han dhatu. But when this dhatu is modified using ta pratyay, so the meaning becomes one that has been injured or one that has been killed. So hata basically means one who has been killed. And Krishna is using this adjective for Arjuna, that hataha swargam prapsyasi. If we can read the sentence as yadi hataha tvam swargam prapsyasi, that if you are killed, if you are injured in battle or if you are killed in the battle, you will obtain heaven. Okay. And this is a very common belief across many cultures that if a warrior, if a kshatriya, if a warrior, he dies in the battlefield performing his duty, then he attains heaven. He attains to swarga. Even if his side wins or loses does not matter. But if he died doing his dharma, performing his swadharma, he attains to heaven. So that is what Krishna is saying here. Hataha swargam prapsyasi. If killed, you will obtain heaven. Okay, and see, this is the first statement that Krishna is making. And this picturizes a scenario where the Pandavas, they lose. Okay, so this is one scenario that Krishna is painting for Arjuna. And then if we'll move on, then we have another scenario where he is saying bhokshyase, which means you will enjoy. Okay, because this bhokshyase, this is coming from the dhatu bhuj dhatu. Bhuj dhatu means to enjoy something, to consume something or to relish something. And the three properties, they are the same as we saw for prapsyasi. So it is also lit lakara, that is simple future tense. It is also madhyama purush. The action is attributed to the listener, that is Arjuna. And it is ekvachanam because Arjuna, single guy. So bhuj dhatu in these three properties becomes bhokshyase. That means you will enjoy, you will relish. Okay, and immediately the question will be kam bhokshyase, that what will you enjoy? And the response is tvam mahim bhokshyase. Mahim. So it is coming from the pratripadika mahi. And mahi, this basically means earth. And with this earth, Krishna is basically implying the earthly kingdom, the worldly kingdom, that you will enjoy the worldly kingdom. Tvam mahim bhokshase. Okay, and again, since this is the karma of this kriya, so this is also in the Dutiya Vibhakti Ekvachanam. Mahi becomes mahim. That is what you see in the shloka. And now the question is katham. Again, I am inquiring about what is the condition. And for that, Krishna is saying jitva mahim bhokshase. Jitva, after being victorious. And this jitva, this is simple to identify. This is a kridanta coming from ji dhatu. Ji dhatu means to win or to conquer. And this dhatu is being modified using a very common twa pratyay. So ji dhatu modified using twa pratyay becomes jitva. And this twa suffix, this gives the flavor of after doing the action, when that action has happened. So jitva mahim bhokshase, after winning, after conquering your enemies, after being victorious, you will enjoy the worldly kingdom. That if Pandavas are to win over Kauravas, then they of course are going to get back their own kingdoms and also all the lands that they conquer from their enemies, and then they are going to enjoy they are going to relish the vast empire on this earth. So mahim bhokshase. So here in this first line, Krishna he has painted two scenarios for Arjuna, that if hataha, you will attain to heaven, and if jitva, you will enjoy the worldly kingdom. So that is what we see in the first line. And now in the second line, he is saying uttishtha. And this uttishtha, this is coming from stha dhatu. Stha dhatu means to settle. Okay, to stay, to settle. But with this prefix ut. And we have observed this before also. This ut, this gives the sense of upward movement. So with this particular prefix, this dhatu gives the meaning to get up, to stand up. Okay, so from stha we get the forms like tishtati, that he stays, he settles. And with this ut prefix, we get the forms like uttishtati, he gets up, he stands up. And this combination is modified using lot lakara. Lot lakara is imperative mood. That is when we make a request or when we give a command. Okay, so that is this lot lakara. Madhyama Purush, again action attributed to listener Arjuna, and Ekvachanam because Arjuna single character. So ut plus tha in these three properties becomes uttishtha. And with this, Krishna is commanding Arjuna that you get up or you stand up, because as a friend and more than that as a mentor, he is giving this command to Arjuna that you get up, you stand up, be on your feet. Okay, so that is the sense this uttishtha, this is giving. And if we'll move on, so I'm asking this question, kim kritva, that after what kind of preparation Arjuna should stand up, he should get up. And for that Krishna is saying krita nischayaha uttishtha. And this krita nischayaha, this basically means having taken a firm decision. So see this samasa, this krita nischaya, this has two padas in it, krita and nischaya. So nischaya, this basically means the resolve, the firm decision, and krita, something that is done. So krita nischaya, together these padas, they literally translate as a decision that has been taken, a firm resolve that has been taken. But pay attention that when these two padas, they are joined together into a samasa. So this is a bahuvrihi samasa. And the way we have to understand this samasa is yena kritaha nischaya. That one by whom a decision has been taken, one by whom a resolve has been made. So that person is being addressed as krita nischayaha. So this is how we are understanding this samasa, that yena kritaha nischayaha saha krita nischayaha. So Krishna using this adjective for Arjuna is simply saying that after taking a firm decision, having made a strong resolve, you Arjuna get up. You Arjuna uttishta. Basically saying that make up your mind and get up and fight the war. Because that is revealed by the next pada. That is why I am asking kasmai, that having taken a firm decision for what kasmai? And the response is yuddhaya krata nischaya, that having taken a firm decision for the battle. Yuddhaya, this is coming from the pratipadika yuddha. Yuddha means war, battle. And yuddhaya, the chaturthi vibhakti ekvachana, means for the battle, for the sake of battle. So Krishna is commanding Arjuna that having taken a firm decision for the battle, you Arjuna get up, you Arjuna stand up. Okay, so these are all the padas. I hope everything is clear. Now if you'll see the Anvay along with the Anuvada, the full meaning will be clear. So Krishna is saying, Hataha va swargam prapsyasi jitva va mahim bhokshase. Okay, and now you see this va. So this va is or. Okay, and just as we use cha, so we also use or. That in the first line we saw, he is painting two different scenarios. So he is saying, either this or that in that sense. And what he is saying? So, hataha va swargam prapsasi. That if you are hataha, if you are killed, prapsasi, you will attain swargam, you will attain to heaven. Jitva va, or if victorious, or if you conquer your enemies, bhokshase, you will enjoy mahim, you will enjoy all the worldly kingdoms and pleasures. Okay, and then he says tasmat. Tasmat basically means therefore. So he says, Tasmat Kaunteya, therefore, O Kunti son. Kaunteya, this is coming from the name of Kunti, Kunti's son Kaunteya, being used particularly for Arjuna here. So Tasmat Kaunteya, therefore, O Kunti son, Yuddhaya Kritanischaya, take a firm decision for the battle and Uttishta, and get up. Okay, so that is the entire translation of the shloka. Okay, and very clearly you can see how Krishna is trying to paint a win-win situation for Arjuna. He's saying that if you fight this battle and suppose you are killed in the battle, then you are going to attain to heaven because you died performing your swadharma. And for a Kshatriya warrior to die fighting the war, that is the highest glory. So you are of course going to obtain heaven. And if you conquer, if you succeed in conquering your enemies, if you win, jitwa, then you are going to enjoy all the earthly kingdom. And then also, once you die of your natural death, then again you are going to go to heaven. So it is like a win-win situation for Arjuna because he is fighting the war for the righteous reasons. So that is what Krishna is saying. It's not that if you are fighting for anything, you are going to attain to heaven. No, it has to be righteous. And this Mahabharata and this Pandava side and Gita being imprinted between that Mahabharata, this is very crucial to understand that thing, that it was a righteous war. The Pandavas were fighting for what was right. Okay, what was the proper dharma of that thing of that time. So that is this, and with this thing, Krishna is also appealing to all of us. See, that is the universality of this Bhagavad Gita, right? That it's not that we are facing any war, and we in our day-to-day life we are not going to face any war, but we are of course facing our own battles. We are of course facing our own challenges that life throws at us. And that is what Krishna is telling us directly, that even if you feel dejected, even if you are completely hopeless at this point, you feel everything is lost, but still Krishna is calling us to Uttishta. He is calling us to get up and fight this war, get up and face the challenges that life is throwing at you. Even if you succeed in facing those challenges, then you are going to enjoy the fruits of that. But even if you fail at succeeding those challenges, but still you are going to attain to the highest glory because you are just focused on doing what is you are supposed to do. So just performing your swadharma, that is the highest goal that is going to take you wherever you are required to go. You don't need worry about the result, the outcome. And the outcome, and that is what we saw in the shlokas, right? Karmanyevadikaraste. That don't worry about the outcome. Just perform your swadharma as long as it is righteous, as long as it is in line with dharma, artha, kama, moksha, that purushartha, then you are good to go. And that is all you have to worry. So it is like a direct appeal to all of us by Krishna, that no matter what situation, no matter what life throws at you, you just have to perform your swadharma, do it right, do it good, and you are going to go where you need to be. See, they say no, the God, Ishvara, he does not gives us what we want, he gives us what we need. And that is a very subtle difference, but that is very important to understand. A lot of times we think that we gave so much, but we did not get what I should have got. So there are a lot of things that are involved in it. There are so many things, your prarabdha karma, your own efforts, your own purushartha. It is a combination of all that. So no need to put the mind on that. Just perform your swadharma, and the God will give you not what you want, but what you need and what you should get. So anyways, that is what we see in the shloka. Beautiful shloka, very strong message for all of us also, if we can understand it. But that is it. I hope all the padas, everything is clear. There is PDF sheet. In case I missed out anything, you can refer to that. I'll meet you now in another video with another shloka. Until then, stay awesome, stay happy, keep learning Sanskrit. Vayam punah milamaha. Dhanyavad.